Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome in. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully, you guys had a good week. Hopefully, you have a good weekend. Obviously, holiday weekend. Some of you, I don't know, some people might be off work today. Hopefully, you guys get to relax a little bit. We are here. We're going to talk a little MLB, NBA, golf. Looking pretty solid early for us. I mean, I still think Scotty's going to win. He's right up there. We'll see how he plays today and tomorrow. I told you guys yesterday, as long as he's in the final group, I would feel pretty good about him winning on Sunday. But we've got Fitzpatrick up there. Rio made a run up there today. So, maybe we could hit a top five on one of those guys. Would be nice. But yeah. How you guys doing today? Yesterday was okay for us. We hit the Ellie hits, runs, RBIs that cashed in the first inning. We talked about that on the stream. Um, I think Trey in the chat, he gave out Reds team total that ended up cashing off that grand slam. So that one. I had the under in the KC game, that one. Had the over in the Baltimore game, that got hooked, unfortunately. We took the over 8.5, finished at 8 runs. And then we had the Kyle Manzardo. He did not make the starting lineup, so that was just a void. But, I mean, overall, it was pretty good yesterday. Nathan, what's up? I told you guys today we'll talk MLB, NBA, and then next week we're going to be hitting the NFL draft pretty hard. I'm going to have positional rankings come out, mock drafts. We'll talk through stuff on the stream every single day. I might do a live stream to react to the first round on Thursday night. We'll see about that, but that could be pretty fun. But yeah, so I mean, we could talk about NBA first. I haven't taken anything yet for these games. Kind of the more I've thought about it, I don't know. I really can't figure it out. I just don't really trust any of these teams at the moment. I mean, the Heat looked pretty good overall against Chicago, but like I said, I really just don't think Chicago was even trying very hard. It was a weird game, so I don't know. I don't really know what to make of that game. And then Memphis and Dallas, I still just Memphis should beat Dallas, assuming Ja plays like pretty handily. But then at the same time, like I just haven't like loved what I've seen from Edie specifically defensively, and they played him like a lot against the Warriors, and I think that's something Dallas, will be able to exploit. I mean, I'm gonna look at the game log here. I don't know. I mean, I think Anthony Davis should have a pretty big game. And I don't know. I just don't trust the Grizzlies I just have a weird feeling. Like 2 days ago, I was like, the Grizzlies should roll Dallas. I just don't know. I just have a weird feeling. So I don't know. I probably will stay away. Jim, good morning. That Atlanta line keeps going back and forth. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest with you. I think it should be a pretty good game for Tyler Hero again. I know they have Dyson Daniels, but I mean, I don't really think Dyson Daniels is that good of an on-ball defender. I think he's obviously elite at generating steals and blocks and kind of gambling for plays like that, but I don't know. I mean, on ball, I think it's kind of so. I'm not really worried about that. So Hero should probably have a pretty good game again. For the Hawks, it's going to be, Trae Young, kind of the same story there. But I don't know. I probably won't bet on either of these games, to be honest with you guys. And if I do, I might just sprinkle Dallas to win the game outright. I don't know. I just, like I said, I just have a weird feeling about Memphis. So I probably won't be targeting either of these games. Maybe a sprinkle on Dallas. I think in theory Atlanta should beat Miami, but I just got burned betting on that. It's hard to read Miami. Yeah, like Guru, they weren't even playing defense to start the game. It's like I don't know what I can take from that. I don't know. It was so weird. So, Mitchell, what's up? I don't know. So, I mean, like the Heat have been so bad on the road. They've been so bad in close games. They've been so bad at holding leads. It's like tough for me to bet on them. And they kind of tried to give that game away. Like Chicago was playing so bad and they still made a run in the second, like third quarter and fourth quarter. So I don't know. That's probably just an avoid for me. I might sprinkle the Mavericks on the money line. But I think AD could have a pretty big game here against Memphis's front court. Let me see. See what like his points rebounds is at. Yeah, 38.5. I would be comfortable taking the over here. That might be my favorite play in the game, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you guys have picks for the basketball games in chat, drop them in, or if you have thoughts. But it's just too hard for me to read. I'm gonna wait for the main series. We obviously tomorrow have a 3-unit sweat because we put 3 units on Warriors in the first playing game and then Knicks parlay. So we've got a 3-unit on Knicks money line basically tomorrow at pretty much even odds. And then I'm going to tweet. I'll tweet out tomorrow morning before the game start my series picks and bets for that. This line keeps coming down, so I'm probably going to bet on Indiana. I'm going to wait and see what it looks like tomorrow. I'm probably going to bet on the Pacers. Might take this. I might take this over 4.5 and just basically just betting on Orlando to win one game. But I don't know. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. In the West, I'm going to be on the Warriors, which we talked about, all week. I'll just take a -1.5 at the plus money and, get them to win in 6, basically, which I think should not be a problem. And then this one, I've gone back and forth on. I think the Clippers, top to bottom, are the much better team. I don't trust Denver right now after like the coach firing and kind of everything that's been going on there with them. But they still have Nikola Jokic. They still have the best player in the world. James Harden does struggle in the playoffs. I'm not denying that. But I just think overall, I think the Clippers are just better. So that will be a debate for me. But I mean, early on, I liked the Clippers. They were actually underdogs in the series when we looked at this on like Monday. I still think I like the Clippers though. So I could see myself betting Clippers, Warriors -1.5, Pacers, and then potentially that over 4.5 maybe in the Boston, Orlando, but we'll see. I'm going to finalize everything tonight, put my bets in, and then I'll tweet them out in the morning, whatever, I'm going to take for that. For baseball today, we got a day game with wind blowing out in Wrigley, which is good for offense. As you can see, 11.5 total on that game. That opened up at, I think, like 10, which I would have been taking the over, but it's moved up to 11.5. Just no value in taking that over, so I'd stay away from the total in this one. I am, however, going to bet on the Chicago Cubs' first 5 innings at +102. I'm a little bit concerned about Corbin Burns. I've bet against him a couple times to start the season. If we just look at his overall numbers, last year he had a 2.92 ERA and a 3.40-ish expected, so he outperformed his metrics a little bit there. But when you only give up 31% hard hits, you don't walk a lot of batters, you have good strikeout stuff, you can outperform advanced metrics. It's not crazy. But this season, his expected ERA and actual are both over 5, and his hard contact has been basically in the low to mid 30s in his entire career. It's up to 54.5% this year. His strikeouts are down a little bit and his walks are up. So the overall profile right now for Corbin Burnes does not look very good. And when we look at his pitches, he is not averaging the same velocity on his cutter as he typically does. And this is a pitch that he throws a lot. So if you look at last season, he threw over 1,300 cutters. The next closest pitch was his curveball at 644. So he's essentially doubling up every other pitch with that cutter. He throws it a ton. And then this season, he's thrown it 61% of the time. So this is a pitch that he throws a lot. And for his career, he's averaged 95, 96 with that. And this year he's at 94. So that is a significant drop off for him. And that could be why last year, he's given up a 250 batting average with his cutter. And then this year he's given up a 290, right? Like that can affect things, especially when you throw the pitch so often. So I'm a little bit concerned right now with Burnes, maybe not for the long term, but for the short term right now until that velocity jumps back up and we see some quality starts from him. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm willing to bet against him. So I'm going to take the Cubs first 5, especially with that wind blowing out and it being good hitting weather. I'll take my chances with the Cubs first 5 today. And with the total, it would typically be a good game to bet some props on too. But obviously Vegas is accounting for that total. So everything's pretty juicy. Maybe a Kyle Tucker, home run or something you could talk me into that. If we look at 2024 numbers for him against cutters, not really good underlying metrics, but a 54% hard hit rate. And then this season, kind of the same thing. Like he doesn't really have a ton of success against that pitch, but maybe he's not seeing quite the quality of a cutter that he typically would with that velocity down. And he's been good to start the season. So maybe you could look at Kyle Tucker, but probably just going to play the Cubs in that game and move on. I'm going to do a hit parlay today. I like to wait a few weeks before we start doing the hit parlays just because I like to get, some data on some guys. So I'm going to be doing a hit parlay today, and it's going to be Bryce Harper and Francisco Lindor, 2 guys that I think have pretty good matchups against Sandy Alcantara and Miles Mikolas, respectively. So a little hit parlay on the card for me today as well. I also like the Mets first 5 innings. It's pretty juicy to take the money line, so I'm probably just going to take the run line at -0.5 there. Cubs not Cubs. The Mets have pretty good numbers overall against Miles Mikolas in his career, and this is someone that early on last season we were betting against him a lot, and he struggled to start this year as well. But we have a really big sample size of him against this active Mets roster. 165 plate appearances on Baseball Savant, 350 expected WOBA allowed, only a 19% K rate, 253 average allowed, 274 expected batting average allowed, 90 mile-an-hour exit velocity. Like this Mets lineup has seen him a lot, and they've had pretty good success. So I'm comfortable betting on them for the first 5. Any home run picks? Yeah, so if I was picking a home run today, probably be Lindor would be my favorite pick. I like, obviously, the Mets, which we just talked about. He's seen Mikolas a lot, has good success against him, which I don't really weight that super heavily, but for people that do, 7 for 17 off of him, 2 doubles, 90 average X velocity, overall pretty good numbers. But the reason I'm fine with Lindor is expected stats. If we look at the Mets, even though he hasn't been that great this season, he's still 3rd on the team with a 358 expected weighted on base, which is pretty good. And if we look at his actual, it's 309. So we should see some positive regression coming Lindor's way. We should see it coming Juan Soto's way as well. 340 weighted on base for him, 357 expected. Even like looking further down the lineup, those are the guys that are hitting the ball well. I mean, it's really Pete Alonso, Lindor, Soto, and Nimmo. Nimmo 287 weighted on base, 356 expected, so he should see some positive regression. Nimmo as well, 194 batting average, 270 expected. Like that's a huge gap. And all these Mets guys have gaps. Lindor 268 to 296, Soto 221 to 252. So, buying low on the Mets offense here for the next few weeks seems like a pretty good strategy. Curious what Nimmo, I want to look at him a little bit against Michaelis. Let me see. Not a ton of success historically. He does have a home run though, but I mean, let's look a little deeper here. So this season, Michaelis, slider 30%, four-seamer 22, sinker 22. So pretty even split there between those three pitches. And that holds up with what we saw last year. It was four-seam, slider, sinker. So really those are the three pitches you're going to see from him. His fastball has been getting hit hard this year, 341 expected batting average. Let's take a look at Nimmo. Nimmo, pretty good fastball numbers, 55% hard hit rate. Sinker, he struggles a little bit. Slider, he struggles a lot. So, I mean, that would kind of hold up. He does not match up well with the pitch mix here other than fastballs. And, he's 2 for 19 lifetime off Miles Michaelis. So that would kind of check out a little bit. So probably not today where I jump in, but Brandon Nimmo, someone that sticks out to me that we might be buying low on here pretty soon. But Lindor, for me, if I was picking a home run play, I'd probably pick Lindor today. Moving on down, I haven't played this, but I kind of like the Rangers a little bit tonight. This should be a really good series all weekend if you guys want to, watch some baseball. If you guys are sitting at home, this Dodgers Rangers series should be really good. Yamamoto DeGrom tonight is really fun. I think Sasaki's going tomorrow. And I know he kind of I feel like people were really down on him after his first two starts because he struggled that one game and came out and was crying. So I think people were kind of, really down on him, but his numbers look pretty good overall. I mean, the walk rate is still up, and I think there was an issue early on with him kind of being able to grip the ball properly. So we'll see kind of how that stabilizes over the course of the summer. But I mean, overall, he still looks fine to me. I'm not ready to give up on him yet. I mean, Yamamoto struggled to start last season and ended up being just fine. So should be a pretty good series there. Kind of interested in the Rangers a little bit though. Maybe even on the first five. I mean, DeGrom still looks pretty good advanced wise. Like the expected ERA is 3.58, which is the high mark for his career, but it's still lower than his actual ERA. The strikeouts are down too. But I mean, he's still working his way back. Obviously missed all of last season, so I'm willing to, write it off for him. The velocity still looks fine. I mean, he averaged 97 when we saw him in 2024 with his four-seamer. This year it's at 96.6. So, yeah, I'm willing to give DeGrom a pass early on and continue to bet on him. But that should be a fun series just to watch. I don't know if I'll play anything, but I do think the Rangers have a little bit of value there. We'll see what happens. I will have a blog out later with my predictions for the basketball games tonight. And I'll try and find at least, I mean, I like that Anthony Davis play, but I'll try and find another play for the other game just to include in the blog. And can someone in the chat please tell me, because I just keep seeing this stuff, man. Like right here. I read these comments. Can someone Can someone tell me what happened to where Jalen Milroe is the most disrespected quarterback I've ever seen in the last, like 6 years. What is there something, like, in the water? Like, what is with the people's analysis of Jalen Milroe? We'll dive into this more next week when we're talking draft, but I just keep seeing this stuff. Like, I have Twitter pulled up here. I just keep seeing this stuff. It's like the comments on any Jalen Milroe post, the comments are insane. It's like these people have never watched football before. I can't understand it. Anthony Richardson started like 12 games at Florida and was a top 10 pick. Okay. Jalen Milroe is leaps and bounds better than Anthony Richardson was at Florida. If you look at Jalen Milroe at Alabama and Anthony Richardson at Florida, Jalen Milroe is so much farther and away better. It's not even close. And one of them was a top 10 pick, the worst one. The one that's better is probably not going to be a first round pick. And I see these people. I don't understand it, man. I really can't. Like, Jalen Milroe's going to, as soon as whatever team picks him, he's instantly going to be the fastest quarterback in the NFL. I think he's as fast or faster than Lamar Jackson. So anyone comparing him to Jalen Hurts, I mean, we just saw Jalen Hurts in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts doesn't even really run anymore. And when he runs, he doesn't look particularly fast. So comparing him to Jalen Milroe, comparing Jalen Milroe to Jalen Hurts running wise makes no sense to me. It's night and day. Jalen Milroe's way faster. He's going to be the fastest quarterback in the league. He's probably faster than Lamar Jackson. So that in itself right there gives you an upside that no one in the NFL really possesses. He also has the best deep ball in this class, last class. Like, I think I don't know like where this thing came from. Like, his deep ball is so good and he's extremely fast. Can he figure out, clean up mechanics, read the defense, hit intermediate passes? I don't know, but the upside is well worth when you're probably not going to have to spend a first round pick on him. He's literally Michael Vick. I mean, Michael Vick, a rocket arm, great deep ball, extremely fast. He also had tiny hands. I've seen people complain about Jalen Milroe's hand size. Michael Vick had very small hands. So I don't know. I don't know what happened where, someone that started multiple years in the SEC and can quite literally run away from defensive backs in the SEC, not linebackers, right? I'm not talking about him running away from the second level. I'm talking about Jalen Milroe running away from the third level of the defense. No one in the NFL can do that other than maybe Lamar Jackson. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll dive into this all next week, but I just keep seeing these, like, it's like these people have gone crazy or something. Like, people thinking that, like, Tyler Shugg is better than Jalen Milroe. Tyler Shugg is like my age. He's like 27. He was playing ACC football, and you're going to draft that guy in the first round over Jalen Milroe. Okay. All right, rant over for today. We're definitely going to dive into it next week because I just can't with these people. I'm going to have to just become like a Jalen Milroe stan, I guess. I don't know. I legitimately haven't seen one. I really haven't seen one person really give positive takes on him. All I see is people shitting on him. I think it's pretty crazy. All right, overall, today's kind of like a chill day. I'm going to have a blog out, and then I'm going to go golf for a little bit. Then we'll be back. I will be on Sports Card Live tomorrow, so if you guys are up late tomorrow night, you want to tune into the Sports Cards Live show, shout out to Jeremy Lee for hosting that. I'll be on there late tomorrow night, close to like midnight Eastern. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll be an appearance there tomorrow night. Here's some bets that I like for today in the bet slip here. Cubs first 5 innings. Mets first 5 innings. Anthony Davis points plus rebounds, kind of like that over. Kind of like the Mavericks on the money line. Also have the hit parlay, Harper and Lindor. And yeah, rant over for today. I'm glad I could get that off my chest. We're gonna tomorrow. Next week's gonna be rough because the draft takes. It's just I don't know. These draft accounts are out of control. The conviction that these people have is pretty crazy when it comes to draft picks. But I digress. I hope you guys have a great holiday weekend. Spend some time with your family. Remember the important things like that. I'll tweet some bets out this weekend as well, stuff that I take. Hopefully we can get a nice sweat going in the PGA tournament. And yeah, like I said, I'll post my NBA series picks tomorrow morning as well before the game start. But thank you guys for tuning in. Always, thank you for watching the stream. I appreciate you guys. I will be back live Monday, 11 a.m. And I'll see you guys then.